This woman preparing to inject cocaine told me she takes drugs to forget. She and her partner had been about to get their next fix in an alleyway in Glasgow's city centre when they learned about the safe consumption van parked up just yards away. She is also on methadone. After leaving the van, she tells me she is off to collect her prescription. Minutes later, another two men arrive after learning through word of mouth about the van. One says he's only here to support his friend. The drug of choice for 44-year-old George is also cocaine.
I've been using drugs for 20 years, on and off. You would usually go to a car park or somewhere like that, and then you know you're under pressure as soon as you get in there, because the cameras have seen you going in. You're hurrying, and then that's when you make mistakes.
Supervising the addicts taking their own drugs is Peter Crykant, who modified this minibus. On board, clean needles, harm reduction advice and medical supplies, including naloxone, which is used to reverse an overdose.
I've answered questions about this on numerous occasions about what if somebody overdoses and dies in your van. I think that's just a fear tactic. We know from experience that if somebody has an opiate-based overdose, we can reverse that through the easy administration of naloxone. So, we see people dying all the time in our alleyways and on our streets because the time an ambulance gets to them, it's too late.
There are over 100 safe consumption rooms around the world, but plans to introduce an official facility in Glasgow have been blocked by the UK government. With close to 500 injecting users in the city centre, officials are tackling its worst HIV outbreak for 30 years.
There needs to be a really unique Scottish and Glasgow response to this, and the UK government haven't allowed that. All of the expert advice suggests that drug consumption rooms not only will stop overdose deaths, but will reduce HIV infections. And we need to be able to have that intervention, because this is an intervention that goes way beyond just drug use. It would help the general population's well-being.
Within an hour of parking up, community police officers arrive. They advise Peter if anyone is seen taking drugs in the van, they could be charged. When asked what would happen to Peter, officers replied they would assess this at the time. In a formal response, Police Scotland repeated its position that the establishment of any form of safe consumption location contravenes the Misuse of Drugs Act.
I think the change needs to come directly in Scotland from our Lord Advocate, who has full powers over the police and crime, which is fully devolved. He can instruct the police to not pursue any convictions around a consumption facility, and he can also instruct the police to not pursue anybody using a consumption facility.
The Crown Office say the Lord Advocate has made it clear that the introduction and operation of such a facility would require a change in the law. Peter says 9 addicts safely used his van last Friday. Today, another 10. He's determined to keep his service on the road. Sharon Frew, STV News.